Right. Okay, I'm gonna share. I'm just gonna make myself invisible, otherwise it is very distracting. And then I'm just going to go and show you what's been going on in your Google Classroom. Um, so you would notice that I uploaded everything you need for lesson 3, and that is what we are doing today. This is the class participation. So you will notice that it's been uploaded, and it's going to be a little bit different than the first 2 lessons, and I'll show you how. You will also notice that I oh I I haven't uploaded the lesson we did last time. I thought I did, or maybe I did, and I just didn't link it here. But I will still do that. Just remember, you can just go to my YouTube channel, and you will see all the new videos anyway. If I forget, you will find it there. But the most important thing I want to show you is your first assessment for a CPT 1 to 5, and that is for PowerPoint. This is the assignment that will count for marks. The other assignments, as I have said, is just for class participation. You must do it in order to write your exam. I need to know that you have participated in the lessons, and that is why you do it. And but this one I will mark. So I've placed it here so that you can start looking at it, but you will probably only be able to do it completely by Thursday because this lesson will probably take us a little bit longer, maybe even Thursday. And I just want to make sure that I cover everything in here before you dive into it. But for this specific assignment, I'm not helping you. This is something you will do on your own. Um, like always, just follow the instructions step by step, which is here. I'm just clicking on it to open it quickly. Okay, so you will start here at instruction number 1. Like I always say, the first part is just an introduction. Don't let this deter you from what you're supposed to do. Here you will see what you're supposed to do in this assignment. And then, of course, don't just look at the slides, because from looking at it, you will never be able to tell everything you have to do with it. So start with 1 and do 1 by 1. And remember what I said in the first 2 lessons, each slide has, or each instruction has so many different things. For example, increase the size of the photo, which will earn you 1 mark. Apply this picture style, which will earn you a 2nd mark. Move the photo, which will be a 3rd one. So each instruction counts various marks. So go ahead and take a pencil or a pen, or if you don't print your stuff out, just make sure that you don't skip any of the little instructions in the paragraphs. And then you will see there are previews of how it's going to look when you are done. But of course, you need to follow the instructions. This will be marked, and the sooner you do it, the sooner I will give you your grade for this. And this, especially lesson 3, is how your exam question will look. Very long, very detailed. The good news is you get the presentation. So you are given a presentation that exists already, like we're also going to do today in our lesson, and this presentation will simply be changed. So you are not starting from scratch. You are opening an existing presentation, which is this one. Please remind me to also email this to you just in case you have difficulty downloading this from Google Classroom. So I'm saying all of this for next week, Friday. When you view material, you will see the due date is the 4th of August. That means next week, Friday at 5 o'clock. You don't have class on Fridays, but I'm saying Friday because there's about 4 or 5 hours where no one is supposed to have class on a Friday, which is from 1 o'clock, and that will give you some time to do this. But don't leave it for Friday. Try to finish it. For this kind of assignments, I'm not that lenient. So please do submit on or before the 4th, because after I mark it, I would like to go through it with you guys. And it's unfair to those who have submitted on time, and then the others will sit in the class and see how I do it, and then they submit. So that is obviously not fair. So I will, once I've done it with you guys in class, once I've gone through it, you are not able to submit anymore. All right. Now let's go to today's work, which is class participation 3. And you will notice that there is an image of a motorcycle driver. There is a presentation that we're going to create. We're not creating it from scratch. We're using this one. There is a video. This video, if it's not easy to open, I will send it in a zip file or something for you. And of course, this is new. I want to show you what this is. This is a PowerPoint slideshow on the lesson. Okay, now it is very detailed and it is very long. As you can see, 55 slides. But when you see it, you will realize why. This specific presentation is about the whole lesson. For example, it gives you the objectives of the lesson. Okay, and you can see what we're going to do in it. We're going to color a photo. We're going to add artistic effects. We're going to align paragraphs. We're going to change views, ungroup, group, blah, blah, blah. All those things. And then they just give you a screenshot of the 4 slides with some text on it. And then here we're going to start. Actually, the roadmap is still something that we're going to do. But then here we are going to start inserting our images, and it's going to show you exactly where to click and where to find things and so on. Now, of course, it may be a little bit difficult to follow along from a presentation that's on your screen. I'm not suggesting that you print 55 slides. No, I'm not. But maybe once you do this, you can just view this video that we are now gonna making while you are doing it. So it is actually a step-by-step instruction, a visual instruction on how to do everything. Now we are gonna aim to get to this little car image today, grouping, ungrouping, and so on. And then we will continue again tomorrow. Okay, so just showing you what this is. And of course, if you want to go through all of this, it will definitely benefit you. A lot of nice screenshots with explanations and things like that. It's totally up to you if that is what you wish to do. Okay, so I'm just stopping the sharing over here, and I'm just quickly going and I'm just quickly opening my PowerPoint presentation, and I'm just quickly getting it here from my data files. Is not this one. This is the video we will be using. Okay, so it's not the first part. Oh, you can't see what I'm seeing now. Okay, but you will see it. You will see it when okay, this is this one. You will be able to see it when you watch the video. Okay, I think I missed it in the second part. Maybe, oh, here we go, guys. So I'm just cutting it. You will always notice that I prefer not to change my originals, just simply because I might need them again, as I've seen now. Okay, so I'm gonna share with you what I'm seeing. I just wanted to open it. Let me share. Okay, window, here we go. Okay, so this is the presentation that is given to us, and it contains 3 slides at the moment, but as you know, there will be a 4th one in the end. And it's basically got a title slide with nothing except a title. Then we are looking at a second slide with a blurry image, and we also got this little PNG thing going on here. It's basically a clip art, and this is the one that we're going to ungroup eventually. And when I showed you the stop motion last time, you could also have used the clip art image and you could have edited, and I'm showing you today how to do that. And of course, this is just a background image. All right, so the first thing that we're going to do is we are going to go to slide 1 and we are going to insert a background image. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and look for that picture in my data files, and I'm just getting it quickly. There's 2 for chapter 3. Okay, here we go. and this is it. Okay, so it is the highway motorcycle picture, and they want us to use this picture as the background. Okay, so first of all, what I can tell is that we are enlarging this picture to cover our whole background. So that is what I'm going to do. Always start in the corner. Always drag the corner as well, because I'm just going to show you. If I drag here, this motorcycle will look out of proportion. Even if I drag here, it will look out of proportion. But when you drag the corner, it will always stay in proportion. And then when you can't drag anymore, then we will drag sideways, and it will not be too fat. Is that the word I'm looking for? So yeah, so you can drag your image around like that. Now you will notice that my text is behind this picture. And for those of you who have done Photoshop and things like that, you may know layering images and putting things on top of other things and shadows and shades and things like that. It's almost the same here, because we just put stuff on top in PowerPoint as well. So this image is now on top of my titles, well, my placeholder, but I'm going to leave it behind this picture for now, because I want to change the artistic effects of this picture. Now, always remember, when you change picture effects, your picture has to be selected. And you know it is selected when it's got these light white circle things going on around it. If I click somewhere else, you will see my formatting toolbar also disappears here at the top. And you will never find it. Even if you look for it everywhere, you won't find it unless you click in your picture. And then you will suddenly see all my picture tools appearing here. Now, for the first two lessons, we did cover some styles, some effects, and things like that. But now we're going to go to artistic effects for pictures. Okay. Now, of course, one can lose oneself in these nice effects, because some of them are like, this is really strange. But anyway, some of them are really nice. And this is how you can actually create yourself a presentation that is unique, even though you are given the exact same material. Sometimes you are given the same material, but you are looking for something a little bit different, make it look a little bit different, and that is when you will apply artistic effects and it will stand out a little bit more. Of course, remember, we are still going to put text on these images, so the text must always appear clear. Okay. Now I'm looking at these slides. I printed some of them out for myself, the ones that I plan on doing today, and we are going to apply one of these effects. And it looks like the one we are looking for is the paintbrush artistic effect. Now, if you put your mouse on these things, you will notice that the name of the effect appears. That little thing below my mouse click is called a screen tip. Oh, sorry. So that is the screen tip that tells you what it is you are looking for. So that one is called paint strokes. This one is called watercolor sponge. Texturizer, what's that? Cement. Oh wow, oh, that looks cement. Okay, so the one we're looking for is paint brush. Okay, so I'm gonna click on that. You will notice that there's a lot of stuff to do, and we're gonna change some of these as well, but that is the one we're looking for now. All right, now we are changing the stacking order. Like I've said, you guys know that behind this image I have my title. So I need to send this to the back, and it's very easy to do. Once your image is selected, once again, you can tell that it is selected. You just right click and you say send to back. Okay. You can also bring it back to the front in the same way. You can just click on it and say bring to front, and it will come back to the front. Okay, so we are saying right click, send to back. Just want to show you that you can actually send placeholders to the back as well. So you can also send them to the back. Okay, so you just want to bring it back to the front again. Okay, so that is what we do, stacking these things up. You can also arrange them over here. When you see this arrange button, it's got squares and a little other square behind it. So here you can also choose how you wish your things to be in the front. Now remember, you may have 4 or 5 layers, so you can actually say bring forward. That means bring it one forward, or you can say send it backward, and it can be sent one backward. So if I had 3 things layered here, it will go one back, so it will be between layer 1 and 3. But if I say send to back, I mean send it all the way to the back. It is now the one that is lost. All right, so that is the picture. Now the next slide, slide 11, says tap or click the border of the placeholder to select it, right? This is a placeholder, okay? Now at the moment you will see the placeholder looks selected. I have clicked in it and I'm ready to start typing, but it is not selected. Okay, now when I take my mouse and I put that 4 arrows on the line and I click, it is now selected. So when it has a solid white line, it is selected. For example, now it is not selected. I have selected the text in the placeholder, yes, but the placeholder itself is not selected. So I need to click on the line, the dotted line, to make it a solid line, and now it is selected. So they are saying drag the sizing handle until the placeholder is the desired size. Okay, so the desired size depends, I guess, on the image they gave us in the front. Okay, so it looks like watch for motorcycles. Okay, must be a little bit smaller, but not in 2 lines like that. So I can just drag on one of these dots and I can move it. Yeah, so now we've resized the placeholder, and we want to align the paragraph next. But let me just show you something. It's not part of this specific instruction, but if you knew the exact size of this placeholder, you could have entered it here in format. So and this is something that will come up in lesson 3's instructions, if you're given the instruction to resize a placeholder, you can do it here in the sizing box. So this is centimeters, but just keep in mind that your instructions will be in inches. All right, let me just quickly show you how to enter inches. I'm just going to use this blank slide quickly to show you. So I'm going to use this one. So if they say 0.0 or 0.5 inches, you will type 0.5, 5 inches. The inches is next to enter, which is shift and quotation or comma, whatever. But some laptops require 0 full stop 5 inches. All right, and others require, I think that's the only 2 options. So just test your laptop for the inches, which they will probably accept. Now, as you know, 1 inch is 2.5 centimeters. 1 inch equals 2.5 centimeters. So you kind of will see what it's going to be eventually. So just remember, if they give you instructions for inches, you can enter it here in format in the size box. Like for example, the shape height and the shape breadth. So you can actually go and enter it here in inches. For example, I'm just going to experiment a little. What mine is taking 0 full stop 5 inches, enter. Okay, so it took for me, my laptop accepts full stop, which is the greater than sign mathematically. So yours might take the comma. I don't know. You are going to have to check your own laptop or desktop or whatever. Okay, so that was just something interesting, which will come up a little bit later. So for now, it did not give us the actual size. It just says resize it to the desired size. If we go through the instructions and we get an actual size, we can always go ahead and resize it as well. Okay, let's continue. I'm now on slide 12. Slide 12 says align the paragraph. So they are saying tap somewhere or click somewhere in the paragraph, and what they mean is the placeholder with the text, and we are going to say center. Okay, so we can just click on center. You don't have to select it if you're in there already. And from what I can tell, I have to move this placeholder up like this. And the F in the picture you will see is just next to the motorcycle driver's head. Okay, so that is aligning the text and moving a placeholder. And since we are not using the other placeholder, we are deleting it. Of course, when you view this slide, you won't see this placeholder. But for me, sometimes it's just better to delete the stuff you don't use. Otherwise, it looks like something is missing. So how do you delete it? Once again, just select the placeholder, click on it, and say delete. All right. Tap or click the border and say delete. Okay, now let me show you a bit about views. I'm now on slide 15. Here at the bottom of your screen, you get different views. You get normal view, which is the one we are in now. You also get slide sorter view, and when I click on it, you'll see this is slide sorter view. And then, of course, you get reading view, okay, which looks like that. And then you also get slideshow view, which is where you view your slideshow. Now, let me show you in slide sorter view. Why do we need slide sorter view? I mean, this is the place where you can maybe see all your slides on one screen. And this is where we rearrange our slides as well. As you can see, it's very easy to rearrange here. You can just pull it and put it wherever you wish to have it. All right. So slide sorter view is nice, but you can't change the text in slide sorter view. This is just the sort, as it says. Normal view is where we usually do it. Okay, so that is slide 15. Okay, so we are moving on to slide 2, and slide 2 is where the fun begins. Slide 2 contains that clip art image, and that is where we are going to go ahead and we are going to ungroup that image. Now, at the moment, this image is next to this text, and you can see it's also covered over the word distance. I always recommend my students, okay, there's going to be a trick to this. So when you do this, you are in a placeholder now. So selecting this picture is a challenge because the placeholder is already selected. When you click out of your placeholder, you can then select this image. Okay, but it's not that easy to select it if you can't. Okay, I should first have ungrouped it because it's easy to select it once it's still one image. But when we ungroup it, it becomes a bit more difficult. So for now, I'm just going to take this picture and I'm going to put it on the slide 4 when I ungroup it so that to work it a little bit better. So I'm going to cut this image and I'm just going to place it here on the slide, and I'm going to enlarge it so that you can see better. Okay, of course, this is not in the instructions, but this is just something that I wish to show you. Again, I just want to make myself a copy in case I mess up the original a little bit too much, like that. Okay, so this is the one that I'm going to change, and this is the one that is the original. So when you look at this image, you can see that it is a clip art image, and clip art images can be ungrouped, but it has to be selected. So once again, select the image, right click in the image and say group, and then scroll down to ungroup. When you say ungroup, you're going to get this message to say, do you want to convert it to an office drawing object? You have to say yes. Don't be afraid of this kind of sign. I know a lot of students always panic when they see this. It doesn't mean something bad all the time. It just means that, do you really want to do that? And then you will just say yes. But it's not done. You have to now again say right click, group, ungroup. And in this picture, this is all the different things that you have in your picture. It's called objects. Okay, so I'm clicking out, otherwise it doesn't make sense. So now is when we can edit this photo. Okay, Now, this photo I'm leaving untouched because I want to show you what else you can do with this image. If I select this part of the image, I can delete it. If I select this part, I can delete it. If I select this part, I can delete it. Even this part. What else will I do? Let's delete one of the people. Just remember